What's up, analysts? So today in this video, I think we're going to look at Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. This is a business that I saw recently in one of the filters that I've made. So if I go to FinViz and I sort by performance down year 50%, and then I sort by largest market cap, 30%, then it shows up as the top five. So this is a $69 billion market cap, industry, biotech, sector, healthcare, Regeneron. And they have a PE ratio of 16, which shows a market neutral outlook. Usually anything above 20 is pretty enthusiastic. Other ones that are on here include, let's see, this should be, it's interesting that they don't have Nike on here. Let me check something. Okay. Well, Nike is another stock that has been down significantly. But it's sort of interesting. There's this whole downtrend in drug manufacturing and pharmaceuticals. We saw recently as well that Pfizer stock is down significantly. It went to an extreme high during COVID, unjustifiably, but it is down now more than 55%. It has a PE ratio of 17. And if we look at their financials and their growth, I mean, this company is steeped in its market. It has a very large market share. Its revenue it's not like a growth startup or something like that from its past revenue, but it's not a good idea to project this past flatness into the future. We don't know what will happen with the pharmaceutical industry, but it's sort of interesting to me why all these pharmaceuticals are coming down. I'm guessing I'm not as informed as the weird irrational ideas of the market. I don't want to be, but if I could gather one piece of evidence to support this, is that China is one of the largest exporters of pharmaceuticals to the United States. We usually import from them a lot of generics. Let's see. Right, so this is like antibiotics like penicillin. There's cold and cough medicine here. There's some antibiotics, and this proportion has been increasing over time, the amount that we depend on China. And I'm guessing that the increased tariffs have been scaring away investors into companies, specifically American companies in the drug industry. However, I mean, Novo Nordisk is a Denmark company. I'm not sure how much business they do in America, so that'll depend. But Merck & Co. is American. They have a PE ratio of only 13, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, they also are down significantly, 33%. So I think pharmaceuticals are something to look at right now. And Regeneron sort of sticks out to me. I will take a look at some of these other opportunities, potential ones. Pfizer is one potential opportunity. However, when I'm thinking about what stock is going to return the most, what stock is going to make the most earnings over the next decade or more, is it going to be Pfizer? Is it going to be a company that has already such a massive market share and not necessarily has a whole lot of room for growth, which I can't say for certain. is it going to be that company that has the largest returns, or is it going to be something that is a little bit more startup-y or smaller? I mean, Regeneron is at 70 billion. They're about half the size of Pfizer, and the reason why I kind of like them is also because of a tip from a large CEO who came and talked at our school, who said that Regeneron has very good leadership and R&D. So I think Regeneron definitely warrants a good old security analysis, which I will be doing in this video. I'm also going to go and look at some of the other opportunities in the pharmaceutical sector and healthcare, but this is a good start. As per the other options in this list, there's one that is not up here, which is Nike. Nike is at like $67 a share, 66, and that is significantly down from, like, they had a peak in 2021. It's now down 60% from that peak. So I'm iffy on Nike just because of the higher PE ratio. However, they are an incredible business, and I honestly, I am thinking about buying this for the endowment fund that I'm helping with. Yeah, I would probably pitch how well this company is capitalized. Their capital efficiency over time has averaged about 33% return on invested capital, which is really, really good. People are really afraid that, they're going to get outcompeted by Deckers, which has On, and then also, or no, sorry, excuse me, Hoka, and then also the other shoe brand On, but their moat, because of their athletic appeal, is really powerful, is really strong. So Nike might be a safe bet for a large business that has a pretty undervalued position. So let's take a look at Regeneron. Just an introduction. I'm gonna make a spreadsheet. Actually, no, I'm gonna make a document. Okay, so let's go through some of the things that are important in looking at a stock. We'll go to the documents that I have on this, and let's go through some of the preliminary questions. So what does the business do? That's going to be the first question. So Regeneron, I'm going to go and find their 10K. Okay. Fully integrated biotech company that invents, develops, manufactures, commercializes medicine for people with serious diseases. Our products and product candidates in development designed to help patients with eye disease, allergic, inflammatory disease, cancer, cardiovascular and metabolic disease, neurological diseases, hematologic. Should probably know how to pronounce these words if I'm going to invest in the company. Hematologic conditions. What is that? Affect blood and blood-forming organs, lifespan of blood cells, red blood cells. Oh, I see. Infectious diseases. Our core business strategies to maintain a strong foundation in scientific research, drug development, using our proprietary technologies. Drug discontinued multi-site product provides patients. Selected financial information. Okay, so I'm just going to literally copy and paste this. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to give ChatGPT this. If I go to save as, no, I don't want an HTML. Print, 190 pages. All right, let's put in the top questions that we want first. So I have a recent 10K from Regeneron and would like to have a breakdown for the following question. What does the business do? And whatever answer it gives, I'm going to double check inside the 10K. Okay, this is pretty much straight out of what I just read. Perfect. Okay, so this confirms what I read in the business overview. All right, next question. So we know what the business does. So I'm gonna title this document, and it invents, commercializes. What were the other verbs? Develops and manufactures. Medicines for serious diseases. And then I'm gonna, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I need now. We're gonna go pretty simple. Perfect. Next question is, what is its competitive moat? So, let me see. Let's see what ChatGPT says. If it's not very good, I can go in and read manually, no problem. Several key factors. Proprietary technology. Velocisuite, Velocigene, Velocimab, Velocimmune. Genomic research. Patents. Okay, I'm also wondering about their talent workforce. What is that? What is their talent? What kind of R&D do they do? So, tell me what, give me concrete examples of Regeneron Pharmaceuticals demonstrating ingenuity in ingenuity and talent. Technology platform, genetically engineered mouse model, immunize the mouse's immunoglobulin gene loci, allowing it to generate fully human antibodies that are highly specific. This innovation significantly accelerates the discovery of treatments like cancer. Velocigene enables a rapid and precise modification of genes in mice. Create models that mimic human diseases more accurately. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so these sort of have like a base of they supply the experimentation tools you could say, using Velocigene. This technology helps screen antibodies. Okay, Genetics Center. Okay, what is this? Technical ingenuity. What age? Related macular degeneration. This is interesting. Okay, so they're doing a lot of stuff for R&D. Now I'm gonna go and read through this thing to double check on everything. Okay, revenue's increasing. Yeah. Okay. So checks shows marketing approval. What does that mean? What is marketing approval in pharmaceuticals? I'm guessing that means you can sell. Market and sell. Okay. Right, and this takes a long time. Years and years and years to get this all done. Preclinical, clinical, phase 1 through 3, review. Wow, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time to get these online. But once you do, it's quite worth it. That's the thing. Diabetic retinopathy. It's not too important that I know what everything here means. I mean, I know the basic ones, but it looks like many that are available in the US are not available in Japan, which is interesting. Why are there many available or marketable drugs in the US and EU but not in Japan? Okay, so more delay, more regulatory barrier in Japan. Japan's healthcare. I know Japan has a completely they completely control prices. There's no private healthcare system there. It's completely public. So this may make sense with their healthcare system being conservative. Conservative in their willingness to allow novelty to gain entry. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Still looking for a competitive moat. Collaboration with SoFi, Bayer, Prowlant, Sanofi, Roche. What country is that? Swiss. What other Swiss companies are there? Yeah, Novartis, that's right. Wow, yeah, so they got big names. Company is solely responsible. Solely responsible commercialization alkalized. Regeneron discovered products. Our ability to innovate, discover, and bring those products to the market. It's direct impact degree. Addition this net sales or revenues, share profits, obligation. Interesting. Okay. So these are their main Regeneron products. Not sure what this is. ROW. Oh, rest of the world. Okay. So yeah, this is where we can track. We can talk about the other question of where does the business make money? So it looks like it's majority United States. We see usually this is about a so let me total these up. So in 2024, I don't need a calculator. 9.5, so that would be 23.6, 24.8, 25.6. It's going to be about 26, about 26.3. So $26.3 billion of Regeneron discovered in revenue from Regeneron discovered drugs. Okay. I'm going to go 2023. So that's going to be 9.4, 20.4, 21, 21 point. Wait, no. Yes, 21, 21.9, 22.5, 22.9, 23.5, 23.7. So round 23.7 billion. And then 2022. 2022, it's going to be 9.6, 17.6, 18.2, 18.8, 19.2, 19.6, 20.6, 21.3, 21.4. Wow, and already I can tell this increases pretty drastically. It goes from 23.7 to 26. If I find I need to just know how to do CAGR by itself. I always forget the formula. Ending value over beginning value, 1 divided by t minus 1. I'm going to remember that from now on. 26.3 divided by 21.4. We're going to do that to the 1 divided by 2, and then minus 1. So that's 11% CAGR. Plus 1 times 21.4. Right. Okay. So 11% CAGR. write that down here. That is pretty impressive revenue growth. Okay, and that is for 3 years, so that is not a long-term CAGR, but gives us some kind of idea. And the next thing I want to do is average out the proportions of the United States, or I just want to take the current United States proportion of their revenue. So that's going to be 16.3, 16.4, 17.1, 17.61, 17.81, 17.8. And then 17.8 divided by 26.3. I'm just going to use a calculator this one time. 67%. Around 67% from US. And let me just see if that's a normal number. This is going to be 5.9, 13.9, 14.8, 15.3, 15.5, 15.7, 15.85, 15.85 divided by this number. So it's going to be 67%. Okay, so it's not like a crazy, outlier. I'm going to guess. All right, so we record net product sales in the United States, Bayer. I'm also going to write down some of their collaborations with Bayer, Sanofi, Roche. Those are a few of the names that I've seen. Collaboration. Part 2, item 7. Collaboration revenue. I'm going to write that. I'm going to check that later. Sanofi records Dupixent, Kevzara. And core global net sale, lifetime face Sanofi, a royalty on such sales. Sanofi recorded net product sales, approximately 6 million of net product sales. Oh, okay. So that's kind of a small amount. And I'm guessing that's what they pay in royalties. Recorded net product sales, Prolent, Sanofi outside the United States, and pays us a royalty on such sales. So I'm going to say the business model, this is all going to be kind of chaos right now. Gets paid on royalties of their own drugs. And expenses. Roche records net product sales outside the United States and records a share of gross products from sales. And then royalties, which is a high return on capital form of income, because they do not need to employ extra work in order to collect royalties, extra capital. And that is an efficient form of income. I mean, when you're collecting royalties, you don't need to employ extra capital to make more products, because you're not making them off just individual sales. You're sort of just sitting back and collecting the cash. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm reading everything in this 10K, every little thing, except for that beginning spot, which is everything that's going to be in the future. Um, okay. All right. Arculus, what is this? All right. Product candidates in phase 2. You know what? I'm actually going to go through each of these and look it up. Wet age-related macular degeneration. What is that? Leading cause of vision in older adults. Abnormal blood. So I'm going to write customers, older adults. I'm going to sort that by the medicine. Diabetic macular edema. Age range or age group. Okay, yeah, so it's it kind of varies. Diabetic retinopathy, serious eye condition, vision loss or blindness. Age group 65 and older, okay? Older adults. And this is for Eylea aflibercept. And this is all the same, macular edema, myopic choroidal neovascularization, vision-threatening complication. Okay, vision loss, so pretty much, yeah, I mean, retino-neovascular Eylea. This is pretty much, what is Eylea? I think I'm just going to ask that instead of writing down each treatment or disease. Injected into the eye, treated eye conditions. Eylea is a biologic drug. Eylea helps reduce fluid leakage into the macula. Okay, so vision loss. Eylea products. Eylea vision loss. Discovered drugs. Let me just make sure that is true. So Eylea HD and Eylea Dupixent. So what does this do? What is Dupixent? Used to treat inflammatory. Interesting. Dermatitis, asthma. Works by targeting headache, back pain. So inflammation. Libtayo. An immunotherapy used to treat certain types of cancer. Cardiovascular disease, whose cholesterol is not controlled by diet and statin treatment. Yeah, I think I've heard of this. Praluent, heart attack or stroke, cardiovascular, CV, cardiovascular. Alright, so they seem pretty diversified also across different types of conditions. Kevzara, that's arthritis. What does it actually do? It doesn't cure arthritis, does it? It's treated all patients with monitor. Okay. Okay, interesting. Regen. Oh, that's interesting. They have, yeah, so they haven't made revenue on that, really. I mean, to the rest of the world, it's decreased significantly, to an insignificant amount of their revenue. The other ones are sort of grouped together with other products, so if we focus on the ones that are listed, the largest proportion was Dupixent in 2024. So that's going to be 10.4 divided by 26.3. So about 40%. Eylea was about 6. So 6 divided by 26.3 is about 20%. 20% in 2024. Regeneron related revenue. Discovered revenue. The cancer drug is going to be 0.7. I'm going to average these out actually over time. 10, 8, 6. It's going to be about 7, so 0.7 out of 26.3 is about 3%. Praluent is going to be even less, like somewhere around 1%. The rest is about 1%. 1%. 1%. So that adds up, and then 6. Clearly this is not equaling 100%. 0.8. Oh wait, because this is in the US. Oh, that's not smart. Okay. 9.5. Okay, 9.5 divided by 26.3. About 36% for Eylea. Okay, and then 11 point. Yeah, about 11.6. Or I should say about 14.1. 26.3. 40 Pixent. Libteo 1.2. About 4.6%. Round that up to 5. And then Praluent. Okay, 765.8. It's about 3%. And then Zora is going to be whatever's left. So let's see, 89 plus 5 is 93. 96, that's going to be about 4%. Okay. 2% because the other products are also up there. Okay. So that gives a breakdown of what their products are. Let's see. There are numerous uncertainties related to safety and efficacy, data for drug development, uncertainties related to the enrollment, clinical trials, changes to drug pricing, reimbursement regulations, competitive landscape, the planning, execution, results of our clinical. Yeah, so that is one big risk if they're developing a drug and let's say another company is developing it simultaneously and they have to take market share. Okay, so I'm gonna write that. Concern during the long period of drug development, other companies may come up with competing products much sooner. Though there is a low chance that the formula is the exact same. So intellectual property would still be secured. Alright. So clinical program, it's in phase 3, regulatory review. Let's see. 2-year data, FDA decision for pre-filled syringe. Submit SBLA for RVO. Ophthalmology, pre-filled syringe. Approved by okay. FDA decision. Dupixent. It's pretty much all approved. And then here are some other newer ones. Antibody to IL-33. Okay, yeah, so we've sort of moved past what their main ones are. What is this? So, what does that do? Fully human monoclonal antibody that targets interleukin. Treatments in asthma. AD, asthma. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals and Sanofi. Are unclear. Well, yeah, I mean, there's clearly a significant p-value for using this new drug. How do you pronounce it? Etipekimab, 0.02. Confidence interval is 95% between 0.2 and 0.88. Combination group. Not sure what that means. Genome-wide. Cells, both innate and adaptive. Type 2 inflammation, mouse models indicate they have additive effects. Double-blind, placebo-controlled, parallel group, phase 2 proof of concept trial. Okay, data, yes. Dose had to be randomization. Randomly assigned 1-to-1 ratio. Could be a confounding variable of country of origin. Statistical analysis. Randomly assigned groups. Okay. All right. Age year. Placebo. All right. Topic, dose of inhaled. Oh, I see, that's the combination. Tipicamab plus dupilumab. N equals 96. 296, that is not a lot of N. However, yeah, so clearly there was a larger, wait, plus or minus 575? Yeah, this doesn't really show a conclusive thing. Conclusion that itepekimab is statistically significant in what are they measuring? I'm not sure what to make of this actually. Are they trying to predict? I'm not sure. Okay, so but we do know what that is. Report results from phase 3. Interesting. All right, birch allergy, antibody to PD1 to LAG3. What is this? Block allergic response. I'm guessing that's the same thing. Allergic response once again. It's interesting, I was a cat allergy. To PD1. Regulate the immune system. Oh, that's interesting. It's another form of cancer treatment. Oh, that's Libtayo. Okay, so these are a lot of antibodies. Relatlimab. Ovarian cancer, melanoma company discontinued phase 2 study due to drug supply. Yeah, so that's another risk, is that also insufficient drug supply can halt the development of drugs and potentially And yeah, and causing revenue decline. I'm going to say profit decline because it could also cause expenses to increase. Oh, that's big. Monotherapy and chemotherapy for Libtayo. Report additional data, EGFR. Hematology, pozelimab. What is this? What is pozelimab? Receives FDA approval as the first treatment for children with Chapel disease. What is Chapel disease? CD55 deficiency with hyperactivation of neuropathy, rare genetic disorder, intestinal lymphatic damage, protein losing, overactive complement system potential. Ultra rare. Okay. Poor results. What is this? Bispecific retreating follicular lymphoma. What is lymphoma? Type of cancer. Lymphatic system. Got it. Antibody. Gene knockout using CRISPR. Oh, this is interesting. Regeneron. What is this? Investigational in vivo CRISPR-based therapy design as a one-time treatment for activating. What is that? Rare progressive disease caused by the accumulation of abnormal proteins called amyloid fibrils. Mutations of swelling the legs, heart failure, neuropathy. Okay, interesting. So they're I'm gonna add another opportunities or threats. Collaborations with leading pharmaceutical talent and gene expansion into gene editing. It's kind of big. TTR gene knockout. How does CRISPR work? Gene editing. Investigational therapy. Durable reductions in serum TTR levels. Okay, that's a good thing, I guess. Cool. Wait, let me check out, what was that article that I just saw? CRISPR-based therapy in ATTR-CM. Oh, I see. So yeah, it is a gene treatment. 89% on day 28? What is that? What is that? Whoa. What is ATTRCM? Rare and progressive heart disease. It's a rare disease, but it is gene editing. So we'll say gene editing and treatment. Yeah, with CRISPR technology. Interesting. Antibodies, genetic medicines, obesity. What is this? Muscle wasting, sarcopenia. Muscle atrophy, obesity. Treatment of obesity. This is big. I mean, I know for better or for worse, there are people who are taking these drugs, so increase in obesity treatment. Drugs. Regenerons. This. Yeah. AAV-based gene therapy. This is only in phase 1. What is this? With the goal of restoring physiological hearing. Whoa. That's kind of crazy. A child born profoundly deaf was able to enjoy music, engage in imaginative play. Cochlear. Whoa. Okay. I can write that down. And they also have a phase 1 product that may restore hearing. I'm gonna say allegedly. Allegedly restores hearing. Okay. Alright, continue with Bayer. Oh wait, did I write them? Yeah. FDA, orphan drugs, Sanofi, da-da-da. Intelia, yeah, that is another big one. What company owns Intelia? NASDAQ. J. Looking for J. Oh. This is the ATTR thing. With CRISPR, Intelia. Interesting. How's Intelia doing? Pretty consistently negative.
Wouldn't invest in them, but it is interesting that they're collaborating with these people. All right, the FDA issued multiple myeloma. First phase 3 of uncontrolled. Initiated. I mean, they're making progress pretty quickly. Retinal diseases. Joint destruction. Interesting. Birch pollen allergy. Cause allergies. Cat allergy. Prozelimab, fully human monoclonal antibody. Investigational combinations, siRNA. Odronextamab. C is an investigational CRISPR-based therapy to be edit genes, IDATR, in vivo. Garetosmab after a single dose. That is another thing. Also, making drugs more efficient. E.G. Single dose treatments may decrease recurring revenue streams. May close recurring revenue streams. Diseases related to aging. Interesting. All right, research and development technologies, many proteins secreted by cells, amorphous cells. Loss of sweet is our second, used for discovering, developing, and producing fully human antibodies that can address both secreted and cell surface. Offer the potential to increase the speed and efficiency through which human antibiotic therapeutics may be discovered and validated, thereby improving the overall efficiency of our early stage drug development activities. Okay, that's interesting. So the loss of sweet. So that is part of the moat. Competitive moat. Loss of sweet enables a proprietary. How does it work? Okay, so
It's a proprietary tool for discovering antibodies through mice efficiently.
direct and immediate generation of genetically altered mice. Avoiding the lengthy process involved in generating and breeding knockout mice from chimeras.
Wow. Allows for the direct and immediate generation of genetically altered mice from embryonic stem cells and breeding knockout mice. Whoa. And which also generates genetically modified healthy mice for mice to save time versus normal traditional breeding methods. It's pretty good. Velocimab, rapid screening, rapid generation. Potential drug bispecific by What are genetic humanizations? How does that work? And how does it work?
Gene swap, human counterparts.
How are antibodies made, produced?
Secrete antibodies specific to the recognized antigen. Oh. So it's like it custom makes itself. These foreign.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh. How does genetic humanization work with producing antibodies?
Isolated.
I need to ask ChatGPT this. Also, there's another thing. Creating methods for the antibody production increases capital efficiency, competitively increases capital efficiency
because antibodies can be customized per based on what it is treated, are modified based on what they treat. So the same core technology can be used over again. There we go. How does this process produce antibodies while minimizing generating from mouse and mouse? Antibodies are initially mouse derived. Right. Whoa. Whoa, that is pretty cool. Okay. So genetic humanizations slightly modify mouse antibodies against diseases using human genes so that the immune system accepts the antibody. Velocity also generates. There we go. Nice. Okay. Genetic center. This is interesting. De-identify clinical genomic properly consented to human volunteers. Blinded fashion. I'm also going to say the what can you say about the oh my gosh, wow. And Regeneron has a powerful method of mimicking of modifying mice to mimic the human immune system in order to discover better antibodies. In addition to replacing CDRs, modified computational models. Interesting. Can use cell cultures. Right. VGF trap. Another one. Okay, so E.G. Dupixent and Eylea.
And then I'm also going to say, what can you say about the growth or increase in usage of antibodies to fight rare diseases, fight serious diseases? Can you prove? In the last 10 years. I'm going to say actually 5 years.
Three million samples sequenced. Wow. Targeted viral-based gene delivery and expression.
Wow. Okay, so R&D at the RGC has yielded discoveries in gene silencing,
Viral-based gene delivery. And viral-based gene delivery.
Okay, I'm going to write that for their collaborators.
That is a large company. Okay. Dupixent, Sanofi, Jonas, Burst, Sanofi. The total amount of our contingent reimbursement obligation to Sanofi in connection with such development expenses was approximately $1.6 billion. I see. So this is like they get a small share and then they pay a bunch out to Sanofi. I guess yearly. Yeah, each calendar. Oh no, sorry. Each calendar quarter to reimburse them. Okay, so I'm gonna say threats. Regeneron owes Sanofi a significant $1.6 billion in development related expenses as they pay off every quarter.
order. And generate revenue from Dupixent. Oh wait. Wow, okay. Okay, so as they collect the revenue, then they have to reimburse them to 30 to 50% worldwide development expenses based on our share of collaborative profits. Expenses are based on their share of profits. Okay, makes sense. Sanofi, so their fates are sort of tied together. Sanofi SA. Okay, Bayer. Companies share equally in profits from such sales. Other collaborative profit share agreements may erode revenue. So that is a threat. Interesting. They no longer wanted to co-develop pursuant to the COCO collaboration agreement, so they can develop and commercialize such a product and they will receive any royalties on it. Okay, so they're no longer co-developing with An Almalam. What is in vivo versus ex vivo genetic? What are ex vivo and in vivo genetic treatments? Okay, that makes sense. Hmm.
Okay. And what was its answer before? Hmm. Okay, so they can probably opportunities. The continued growth of the antibody usage. So that's another potential opportunity. Hmm. It's interesting. They're not making huge acquisitions, which is good. I'm just gonna say strengths. Indication of cost effectiveness with smaller acquisitions, including decibel for around 100 M. Manufacture bulk. $100,000 of cell culture capacity. Okay, there's also an economy of scale. Economy of scale with manufacturing processes, including bulk drug materials and supply, commercial, experienced professionals, marketing, sales, reimbursement, market research. We sell or marketed primarily to wholesalers, service pharmacies. We had sales too. Interesting. Best Medical and McKesson Corporation. Competition among products approved for sale is based on efficiency, safety, reliability, ease of administration, dosing frequency, availability, price, patent, and other intellectual property position, and other factors. Okay, marketed products. Competitor product. Biosimilar. Thing. Off-label and repackaged. Interesting. Dermatitis, asthma, nasal polyps. Pfizer. Right, so they have a lot of direct competition. GSK, Libtayo. Late stage and earlier stage candidates face competition. Applications which reading those intellectual properties have been sought. Right, yeah, so this is major. So major competition from large pharmaceutical products, from parallel pharmaceutical products, and potential threats to intellectual property. Risks in upholding intellectual property. Yeah, because that's because of heavy dependence on patents. Patent portfolio. Right, so they're sort of head versus head in terms of filing for patents. Okay, expiring. Seven to 10 years. Okay, they're sort of about 10 years out from this generation of products being expired. Which is significant. I'm going to say competitive advantage around 10 years away from most of their revenue generating products, patents, the patents for products being expired. 10 years away from patent expiration for main products. Okay. Oh, and this also depends on the US versus everywhere else. Okay. I'm going to say across US, EU, and Japan. Wow. To go through so many barriers to get a drug reviewed and accepted. Okay, so also threats from Medicare and the healthcare industry of inadequate reimbursements as well as price cuts. That is going to be pretty serious. However, it is a barrier to entry with the long drug development times and heavy regulation. Okay, fraud and abuse, kickback. Alright, business segments, discovery development, serious diseases, human capital. Okay, most of them are in the US, which is good. None of them are represented by a labor union. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna write on compensation. Emphasizes stock-based pay for employees, benefit of both employees and shareholders. Okay, risk factors. Okay. Okay, I sort of already talked about this. We are Hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of, although pharmaceutical companies have a huge exposure to market regulation, it seems that the sentiment about this sort of comes in waves. Phil Fisher talks about this in Uncommon Stocks and Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits, that the market will oftentimes evaluate the effect of government regulations differently in some periods than others. So you kind of have to watch out for what period you're in right now. Regeneron and Pfizer and all these big pharma companies seem to be in a period of fear, which is a good time to buy. It's easy to look at some of these risk factors on regulation and get afraid that the government will crack down on price controls, etc. But I think, especially with our rivalry with China and the influx of pharmaceutical goods from China, coupled with our tariffs and our growing geopolitical tensions, I see U.S. companies like Regeneron regenerating some of the revenue that they would lose to Chinese businesses, and also to really strong government intervention. Um, Trump has taken a position that he wants to get rid of profits of pharmaceutical companies, or at least that's what it seems like. However, he's only around for 4 years, and that can change. So, yeah, I mean, if we look at some of the core fundamentals of why a stock like this might be undervalued, we can see
the Regeneron PE history of, let's see. Right, so the PE ratio, 2021, it was very low since they had this insane increase in earnings per share. This was due to COVID. They probably made some money off of the vaccine or RNA product that they have. And then recently, they are down to about 16 PE, which is quite small. And this is even with a small earnings increase. Now, if we look at their earnings per share over time, and we calculate a CAGR, so let's see, 12/31/2024. If we go back 10 years, that's 298 versus 38.34. So 38.34 divided by 298. It's going to be 2 to 1 divided by 10th, and then minus 1. So that's, okay, that looks like a 29% CAGR. Is that correct? 298, and then 38.34. 38.34. Number of periods. Oh wait, there we go. 2.98, 38.34, 10 periods. Yeah. So about 29%. That is a really impressive earnings per share growth. I'm going to put that over here actually. 29%. Yeah, so I think that would be probably the reason why someone would undervalue this in the market. Reason for undervaluation, market fears about government intervention in the pharmaceutical sector, specifically with Trump in office, which would increase price, which would decrease margins. However, this is a short-term. This is a short-term event, and the market is overly fearful of its consequences on the intrinsic value of Regeneron. Okay. Let's see, then we got competitive moat, compensation. Cool. Yeah, and then I'm going to add one more thing. Increase rivalry with China may increase may improve the government sentiment for pharmaceuticals as the U.S. races to lessen its dependence on China for pharmaceuticals. Wow, another share repurchase program. So shareholder friendliness. This is about 10% of their current market cap in share repurchases, which is really good. All right, fully integral biotech company invents, develops, manufactures, commercializes medicines for people with serious diseases. Numerous approved products, 40 candidates. Positive cash flow over the next several years, depends. Okay, got that. Gap, product revenue. Net income, revenues, operating expenses. Wait, I'm also gonna see Phil Fisher's comments. Pharmaceuticals and common profits. I can pull that book out right now. I'm gonna have to try to remember where he said this.
Oh, there we go. This is about chemical businesses. Computer peripherals. Okay, maybe you didn't talk about pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I don't think you did talk about pharmaceuticals. That's okay. So, good to know. Let me just check the index if he did. Pharmaceutical stocks. 158, 257 to 258. Oh, there we go. Yes, there we go. Endless growth due to wonders in research. Yeah, there we go. With the long-range significance of an ever-growing number of important new drugs tending to further bolster the status of pharmaceutical stocks as against government attacks on pricing and patent policies of this industry working in the opposite direction, it will be interesting to observe over the next several years whether the recently regained standing of the pharmaceutical stocks grows still further or starts to shrink. It's interesting. Yeah, so this is sort of what we were talking about. You can take it, you can interpret it either fashion. I'm going to make a note of this. Pharmaceutical, page 159. Actually, I don't need to do a bookmark. And then what was the other one? $257 to $258. Yeah, I'm sort of curious to see when were pharmaceutical stocks at their peaks? What were they trading for? Merck and Co. History. No, I'm looking for, yeah, I'm looking for this. Oh man. I'm looking for a long time. 2011. Oh, that's interesting. They've been these like spikes over time. How about Pfizer? Looking at PE ratio. 2004. Yeah, it's kind of uncorrelated. Yeah, I don't know how I can find an industry-wide PE ratio. I'll try AbbVie. $2014. Yeah, it's sort of random. Okay. 37. All right, revenues increasing, operating expenses increasing. Impressive growth with Alia HD. Short-term tailwind from sales. Okay, and let me go find out what that means again. There we go. Soluble fusion protein that acts as a vascular endothelial growth factor inhibitor. Through novel formulated designed to deliver a concentrated dose of. Okay, so what is the difference between Alia and Alia HD? Higher dose, longer acting formulation. Higher dose, longer acting formulation. Yeah, I mean, this is its core product. If it's a real improvement, that could be big. DC, but it's sort of, they're competing with themselves, so wouldn't it correspond to a decrease in normal Elia sales? Yeah. So this increases and this decreases significantly. If you find out the difference, oh, that's interesting. 2024 versus 2023, you see an increase in 1 billion. Which slightly counteracts the corresponding decrease in normal Elia sales. Libtayo also increase in global. Wow, I mean, that is impressive growth. It's almost doubling in revenue every year. Net product sales, Prowlant, Vixa, okay, yada yada. Sanofi, okay, so Their biggest are Sanofi and Bayer. Right. Okay. Most of them are from themselves. Increase. It's approved. In 2023. It's interesting. Sanofi collaboration revenue. Regeneron share of profits. Sales-based milestones earned. Reimbursement for manufacturing of commercial supplies. Total antibody. Wow, that's a lot. And I guess that's the antibody collection from before. Antibody collection. Okay. Yep, that follows. Increase of share. Profits earned. Ilia and IliaNet. Research and development includes costs incurred. Acquired in process, selling general. Okay, they're definitely increasing their employees pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a stretch. Just because they increase their headcount does not mean that they necessarily increase their efficiency. You know, you can do a lot less even with more people, and same goes for spending more on research and development. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting more return or more value out of what they're putting in. Portispono, Pixent, 98, 96. Interesting, stock-based compensation. Commercial expansion. How many employees does Pfizer have? Whoa. They're at only 14,000? And Regeneron is at... Pfizer revenue. Kind of want to do a revenue per employee figure. If I look at macro trends, go to Pfizer, other metrics, employee count, compare, and I'm going to look at Regeneron. I'm also going to look at Merck. I mean, they have a lot of room for growth. If I look at now revenue, okay, let me go back here. Pfizer, revenue, compare. I'm going to do Regeneron. I'm going to do Merck. Okay, so currently about the same, 64 versus 14. 14 is actually around about what they're making, so say it's about 1 billion per 1,000 employees, so that's about $1 million per employee versus less for Merck. So it's about 3/4 as much. What is another company that I could look at? GSK, Novo. Okay, so okay, weird. There's no data for them. GSK number of employees. Okay, about 70,000 people. If we look here, that's even worse. That's like, okay, that's like 40, and Novo and GSK are about the same. So Novo and GSK, okay, so about the same. So 70,000. See about, okay, 40 by, okay, so about, let's see, 40. And that's about 40. 40 billion divided by billion, so that would be 10 to the 9. It'll be about 570K per head. So GSK, and Novo, around 570K revenue per head. And then if you compare against Merck and PE, so it's going to be about 70. So 70 for about, I want to say 80,000 employees. So 70. It's going to be times 10 to the 9, and then times 70 divided by 8 times 10 to the 9 divided by 10 to the 5th, so 8. 75 to the 5th is about 875K per head. We're going to do Pfizer, Merck, versus, and then what is Regeneron? Regeneron's at 15, so it's making about $1 million per person versus 1 mil per head. That's interesting. Okay. They also have far fewer employees and room for employee and revenue growth compared to big pharma competitors. Cool. All right, unrealized gains, cost of goods sold, yada yada. Cash, 2.5 billion. Wow. They have a lot of cash. 17.9 billion in marketable securities. How would I compare that against Pfizer? Short-term investments, they have about, wow, they have a lot of short-term investments. 20 billion, 20 out of 141, 14% of their market cap in investments versus 17.9, dude. $25% in investments. That is a lot. That is a lot. If I look at price to cash, or if I look at price to book, yeah, it's never been this low since 2013 for Pfizer. Let's see, for Regeneron. It's at trading at 2.4 price to book. Let's look at Merck.
trading about 4.8. Yeah, I mean these are either recent lows or historical lows. What else? Novo Nordisk. I'd be surprised if this was trading down. Wow. I mean, it is already extremely expensive, but yeah. And then finally I'll do GSK. About 4.97. And where are we at with Bayer? Oh, okay, no Bayer. All right, let's keep going with Regeneron. Cash, working capital. Yeah, they also have a very impressive current ratio. They're very well capitalized. Very well capitalized. Current ratio. That's gonna be around 14. It's gonna be around 6x. And do they have a lot of debt? They aren't. Oh wait, there we go. Debt. It's about. Yeah, 0.09. 0.09 debt to equity. That is extremely low. Usually just only less than 1 is good. So they have very low debt. Cash flows provided by operating activities. Yes, yada yada yada. Expansion of our research support facilities. Most costs. Addition required 1 million square foot facility. Back to incur capital expenditures. Payments for Libteo intangible asset. Acquisition of the exclusive right to develop. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to take a picture of that. The fact that they are using their capital for these expansionary tasks is a sign of great capital allocation. Great capital allocation. The use of capital for expansionary functions. All right, very, very nice, very nice. Yeah, the fact that they are buying the exclusive right to develop, commercialize, and manufacture their cancer treatment, Libteo, and they're trying to buy a factory, a 1 million square foot facility. It's very impressive. Credit facility, 750 million, yada yada. Share repurchase programs, up to 3 billion in common stock. That is a lot. That is very good. Oh wow, yeah. Additional 3 billion. So it repurchased. Has consistently repurchased the amounts that they have promised. So let me just take a little picture. Consistent.
Very nice. Wow, and they've already bought 1.9 billion more. Declared a first quarterly cash dividend. This is a good time to buy. Yep. Well, I'm just gonna say this. They recent declaration of cash dividend indicates company stability. It's always a good sign. Always a good sign that they are starting, or at least however, the lack of any history of dividends is not conclusive to show historical stability. Yeah. Oh yeah, Terrytown, leasor, lease financing, which matures for additional 5-year period. Yep, management. Yep, perfect. Okay. Now we're getting to income statement. Yep, audit matters. Okay. Alright, we're going to do a calculation of a few things. So I'm going to do critical financials. Alright, I'm going to first do invested capital calculation. Alright, so let's see what we got. It's going to be 2.5, 6.5. Okay, so it's basically all current. 18.7 minus 2.5 minus 6.5. It's about 9.7 because marketable securities and cash cash equivalents are not operating assets. And then I'm going to add PP&E at 4.6. I'm also going to add intangibles at 1.1. Deferred tax assets I'm not going to include. That's not an operating asset. That's not something they operate with, they make money from. And accounts payable, it's gonna be subtracted by 0.8, then subtract by 2.5, and don't subtract deferred revenue. Total current liabilities, okay, finance lease liabilities, that's interest bearing. Deferred revenue, non-interest bearing, other non-current liabilities. I'm going to give them a conservative estimate at 12.1 billion. 12.1 billion ROIC 2024. Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna tell ChatGPT to do this. It's much easier. All right. For this balance sheet, do the following calculation. Okay, it's gonna be total current minus cash and cash equivalents, minus marketable securities, and then plus property, plant, equipment net, plus intangible assets net, plus, minus accounts payable, minus accrued expenses and other current liabilities. And that's it. Let's see what they got. I'm also going to do that calculation. I'm going to find 2 years before. So this is going to be the 10K for 2022 and 2021. And I'm going to tell ChatGPT to do the same thing. Come on. You got this. $19.8. What? Accounts receivable. Total current. So this is 10. 10 plus, okay, it's like 14.6. 14.6. It's like 15. $18,660. Right. Okay, I guess I was completely off. 19.8 billion. 19.8. Do the same with this. 15. 15.2. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more years. 15. Okay, good. 2020. $15.8, $15.9. Okay, now I need to start calculating the net income. So net income here, net income here. $8.3. Okay, 5 years. 6.6. Right, and then now calculate return. Good. Now for each net income, calculate the net income over that year's. $2022. And finally 2021. Or 2019, I should say. I'm not sure which is faster, ChatGPT or a calculator, but we'll see. Alright, and then delete these tabs, go back here. Increase in marketable securities. This is a good sign. Resilience to recession. Good. All right. between 22 and 32% ROIC. That is pretty impressive, and that's with a conservative invested capital amount. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, cool. So we got that. I think that's good for now. Looking for odd or things that stick out to me. All right, what explains the decline? Oh, unrealized gains. Increase in inventories. So that would be a decrease in inventories. Correct? Oh no, increase. Increase in inventories. That's not necessarily good. Let me look at their history of inventory. I mean, that's good and that's bad. Because you don't want to, I mean, yeah. I just hope that they can sell this stuff. Is return on inventory turnover, how is that? Yikes. I guess that makes sense for return on inventory. Average inventory. I'm not that worried because it's not extremely low, but it is not that good. Cost of goods sold is less than inventory. That's not good. I don't know. Cost of goods sold should be more than the inventory. Do they just recognize inventory differently? It's kind of weird. Also, this is non-recurring causes. gains and losses on marketable securities, things like that. That describes the decrease in operating activities. Now I want to look at their capital expenditures specifically. And then calculate a free cash flow figure using only expenses that are for maintenance purposes. Direct research and development expenses. Lower of cost, first in, first out. How does Pfizer do it? Merck. Yeah, the thing is, Pfizer doesn't report what inventory recognizer they use. Okay, this is first in, first out method. So this should be pretty parallel. Yeah, and it's significantly higher. Yeah, why is Regeneron's... Yeah, okay, so Regeneron's inventory is significantly smaller than its competitors. Merck with FIFO method. I wonder why. Hmm. Salvage value, useful life. Royalties and/or sales-based milestones earned. Saw this already. Yeah, I mean, they do have major exposure to McKesson and Best Medical. What is this? Best? Oh, it's a distribution. Okay. For the past 5 years, it's gone up significantly. John McKesson, McKesson Canada, distributes pharmaceuticals, so that makes sense. I don't think it's a big deal that they have such exposure to them. Then these are pretty reputable companies. Balance. Chemcore Inc. Size. 290 billion in annual revenue? What? That's a lot. Hmm. Hmm. Most of these agreements, um, interestingly, most agreements with collaboration revenue evoke the evoke the counterparty to sell outside the United States. Regeneron does so inside. This entails more stability, and less geopolitical risk. That is actually a big deal. This is a big deal considering the geopolitical tensions rising. Let's look at Bristol Myers Squibb. Could just be the nature of their products. I'm not sure. Corporate bonds. That's interesting. They bought a bunch of corporate bonds. Less than 12 months. goods. What is their, okay, so 30887, and we find their cost of goods sold. Divided by It's as if they recognize I think it's a way that they report because 1097 is not representative of what they do, of what they're actually selling. Yeah, could we go in like 15 minutes? Yep. Thanks. Depreciation, amortization. $2030 and $2050. Not worried about the leases too much. It's not an adverse effect to their business. Yep, this is already done. Stock options, 1.8 billion, exercisable, it's negligible amount. Negligible dilution from stock options. 1.8 divided by about 70 is 2.5%. In 2024, Still looking for their capital expenditure. If not, it's not a big deal though. How much do they do inside America? 67%, okay. Legal proceedings, I'm not worried about this. Wow. Okay, so that could lead to lawsuit costs. How much though? There isn't really a number. And wow. A lot of patents. Hmm. Wow. Statement of cash flows. Okay. Capital expenditure. I'm going to take a look at that one more time. Okay, I have it in a picture here. Capital cash flows from investing activities. There we go. Okay. $125. Okay, 125 and 54 is like 170. Okay, 170. I'm gonna remember that. 170. How much did it cost them? Okay, 170. Okay, so if I take off 170, then okay, so 4.4 plus 170 is about 4.6. 4.6. I'm gonna say half of that is for the Terrytown expenditure. So 4.6 minus 4 is 4.2. 4.2. After excluding expansionary capital expenditures, the total free cash flow many shares do they got? 1.8. $137. Okay, 137, let's say. Okay, so let's say it's about 160. Okay, so 4.2. It's going to be about 26.25. And with conservative estimate of 10 million shares, that is equal to about 26 per share. Or 24x PE. Wait, how many shares do they actually have? Okay, 70 billion. Divided by 635. Oh wait, that's way fewer than I thought. That's 110 million. What? Oh, okay. So 115. So 4.2 divided by 0.115 is about 36.5. So $36 a share. And then 635 divided by 36, about 17. 17x P over FCF ratio. Pretty good. Alright. I think that's good for now. It looks like this business is really promising. They have a good free cash flow, good capital efficiency, lower PE ratio, competitive products. Some fears include government oversight, but this is something that is just the market's irrationality. It comes in cycles in terms of how that is valued. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was definitely a long one, but I think Regeneron is a pretty good bet.